And good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us for this live stream of your WBTV News and Weather. I'm John Carter, and we do want to start right with the forecast because it's been a great day out there today. If you've been outdoors, you know it's been blue skies, sunny skies out there, and meteorologist Rachel Calder is enjoying live outside weather, and she's got an update right now. Rachel?
Yeah, that's right. I'm out on the DeMayo Law Outdoor Studio set at this point, and John Carter, it is gorgeous out here. I can hear the birds chirping. It just feels like a spring day. And the winds have calmed down. Still a little breezy at times, but certainly not as windy as what we were waking up to earlier this morning. And fortunately, we don't have any wind advisories in effect and no high wind warnings in effect either at this point. That's all going to be calming down from here. But with these clear skies and calm conditions, you'll notice these temperatures dropping pretty quickly, still in the upper 50s, and we're going to stay in the 50s here for the next few hours. But by the time we get towards about 9 o'clock, we'll notice the upper 40s, and then heading out the door tomorrow morning and waking up, it's going to be cold outside. Temperatures just above freezing in most locations. Of course, if you're listening in from the mountains, I know it's been so blustery up that way, but even the winds will calm down there as well, and you'll be waking up to temperatures in the 20s. And tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so if you have any plans on your Valentine's Day, I'm going to be walking you through what to expect not only for the middle of our week, also tomorrow night, but a look ahead at the rest of the work week ahead and the weekend and when we're expecting our next best chance of rain. John?
All right, thanks a lot, Rachel. Well, dozens of flight attendants on the picket line today outside Charlotte Douglas International Airport. They are fighting for better pay. According to the Association of Professional Flight Attendants, many say they haven't had a raise in 5 years and their salaries do not keep up with the cost of living. Thousands planning to picket today at airports around the globe in order to get that message across. Now, we're going to hear more from the picketers and what they want to see from the airlines. That's starting at 5 o'clock on WBTV. And an update now on a WBTV investigation that is one of our most clicked on stories this week. Details in the death of a 12-year-old boy at a North Carolina wilderness program. This new information coming to light only after WBTV's chief investigative reporter Nick Ochsner obtained copies of 2 search warrants executed by detectives investigating the boy's death. Nick drove to Brevard to get those records, and that's where he found the Trails Carolina Wilderness Camp, where the 12-year-old boy was found dead Saturday, February 3rd. Now, you may find details on what first responders say they found on the scene disturbing.
The search warrants show the 12-year-old boy's body was already stiff by the time first responders arrived. His pants and underwear off, laying next to his shoulder, his knees bent toward the sky. Detective wrote in the warrant they talked with a staff member who was assigned to watch the boy the night he died, his first at the camp. According to the warrant, the staffer said the boy had a panic attack around midnight, that he was sleeping in a bivvy on top of a thick piece of plastic strung up on 2 pieces of rope. The staffer told detectives the boy was checked on at midnight, 3 a.m., and again at 6 in the morning. He was found dead at 7:45. The warrant also details a lack of cooperation by staff at Trails Carolina, refusing to let deputies see the other children who were in the hut where the boy died, and blocking Child Protective Services social workers from having access and withholding their full names. In a statement sent late Monday afternoon, a spokeswoman for Trails Carolina said, quote, "The search warrant document contains misleading statements. There are details we will not address at this time out of respect for the family and the investigation that is still underway."
That was our Nick Ochsner reporting, and late Monday, top regulators at the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services sent a new letter to the staff at Trails Carolina, setting out a list of actions the camp must take in order to continue operating during the investigation. The new letter says Trails Carolina must stop accepting new children until the state finishes its investigation. Discontinue the use of bivvy bags for all children or adults. Require at least 1 staff member to remain awake while 1 or more children are asleep. And provide access to investigators with state, county, and sheriff's office, among other things. A spokeswoman for Trails Carolina has denied the camp did not cooperate with investigators. We have more details on what our investigation has uncovered online right now. You can find that at WBTV.com. This afternoon, Chester fire investigators are searching for answers after a fire killed 2 people, a woman and her grandchild. At this point, neighbors just want to know what happened. The fire broke out early Sunday morning along Walker Street. Inside were 67-year-old Loretta Mills and her 3-year-old grandchild, Logan Givens. Neither was able to escape. Bessie Dixon knew Miles for years. She says they first met while working at a local textile plant, and even back then, she made a lasting impression.
It just hits us hard when things like this happen. She was a hard worker. She loved her family. She loved her grandchildren.
Right now, investigators are still working to learn what caused the fire, and there is a GoFundMe in place to help the family right now. If you're interested in donating, well, I've got that link on our website. Just go to WBTV.com. Today, a man will be in court after a shooting involving Charlotte-Mecklenburg police. We first brought you this as breaking news last week. You remember when it happened. This all started just before noon last Thursday on Beatty's Ford Road near LaSalle Street. Officers were originally called there to address a drug complaint. Police say Tim Moore took off, then pointed a gun at officers, and that's when an officer shot him. Moore faces charges including resisting arrest and possession of a firearm by a felon. Now, people who know Moore say he was suffering with mental issues. Activists we spoke with say police need to respond differently to people dealing with mental health issues. And they say more needs to be done to help people when it comes to these kinds of issues. This afternoon, the CDC is reporting the number of mothers diagnosed with syphilis in the United States has tripled over the last 8 years. And this follows WBTV's investigation into the increase of syphilis cases here in North Carolina. The CDC's report came out overnight. It shows women giving birth in the United States are now 3 times more likely to have syphilis than they were in 2016. Maternal syphilis rates are lowest among women who start getting prenatal care in their first trimester. But among women who don't receive any prenatal care, rates are nearly 4 times higher than average. Authorities in Mecklenburg County say the number of cases here has nearly doubled since 2020. Doctors say treatment at least 30 days before delivery slashes the risk of the infection passing from mother to baby by a whopping 98%. So women should be tested for syphilis 3 times during their pregnancy, according to doctors. Here we go. At their prenatal visit, between 28 to 32 weeks of gestation, and then at delivery. And newborns, they say, should not be discharged from the hospital until the mother's delivery syphilis test results are known. Now, WBTV investigative reporter David Hodges has really dug into this problem, shining a light on the issue in our area for months now. He spoke with whistleblowers who worked at the Mecklenburg County Health Department and said higher-ups ignored the warning. Well, you can watch more of his series, and it's an important one, Syphilis Tsunami. You can see that on our website. Again, that's WBTV.com. Right now, there are warrants for Charlotte man to be rearrested. He's accused of child sex crimes. Nathan Martin was supposed to have a bond hearing yesterday, but the courts say he never showed up. He's connected to a case back in December where mother and father from Virginia drove down to his home in South Charlotte to confront him. They believed he had molested their teenage daughter. Well, the confrontation led to a shooting that killed the mother and hurt the father. No one was ever charged in that shooting, but it did lead police to investigate the case further. Caroline Hicks has the latest developments.
We come down here because he molested my 15-year-old daughter.
That was the scene painted by a 911 call on December 12th.
He come out, he pointed a gun at my wife, and I went after him. And when I tackled him, he shot me in the leg, and when he got up, he shot my wife.
A mother and father traveling to Meadow Ridge Drive in South Charlotte from Virginia to confront a man they say molested their 15-year-old daughter. That confrontation led to a shooting that killed the mother and injured the father. As police began investigating, they discovered that 33-year-old Nathan Martin allegedly engaged in sexual activity with the couple's daughter, who was 14 at the time. According to an affidavit, Martin admitted to the incident in question in a recorded conversation on January 11th. Martin was arrested on January 17th and charged with 2 counts of statutory sex with a child and 2 counts of indecent liberties with a child. The affidavit says these incidents started in April of 2023. He appeared before a judge in January and waived his right to assigned counsel. He was released from jail on a $50,000 bond.
And that was our Caroline Hicks reporting. Now, because Martin did not appear in court for his hearing yesterday, he will be rearrested and held on a $250,000 secured bond. Now, we've checked jail records this afternoon. He is not yet in police custody, according to those records. And we're following a developing story out of Concord this afternoon as students of Barber Scotia College will start to notice more police on campus after a string of vandalism complaints on campus. College President Chris Ray says he started noticing some damage, but then things got much worse. He says over the weekend, 8 large windows in the student union were busted out. This all started about 6 months ago. President Ray says they'll now have to spend the resources to clean it all up.
The very precious dollars that we are raising that I am trying to pour back into the college to fix up these buildings so that I can make them ready for our students to return, I have to now address it with vandalism. And so now that's $30,000+ that I have to, now spend that I didn't need to spend.
President Ray says he has given the Concord Police authority to arrest anyone found loitering on campus. Now, if you know anything about the vandalism or you saw anything, you are asked to please call the Concord Police Department. Well, February is Black History Month, as we all know, and has some added significance for the Livingstone College community. It just received its second $1 million donation, and this in just 4 months. President Dr. Anthony Davis made that announcement during the college's 145th Founders Day celebration. He said the gift came from the same anonymous donor from 4 months ago. That gift was the largest individual contribution ever made to Livingstone. Well, during that celebration, Dr. Davis also announced 3 residence halls will be renovated and ready for students by July. And as we mark Black History Month, WBTV is honoring the triumphs and struggles of African Americans. And we are bringing you stories from our area in a WBTV Black History Month special titled Then, Now, and Forever. And let me tell you what, this is an incredible show. It's got so much history to it, so many things you're going to be surprised to hear. You're going to be fascinated by this show. You'll be able to watch it. It's going to be on Thursday, that's February 15th. And it'll be at 7 o'clock. You do not want to miss it. All right, turning now to one of our most popular ever Carolina cameras. I got a question for you. What does the most influential woman in rap music and a 5-year-old girl from Rowan County have in common? Well, the answer, it turns out, is quite a lot. So let me introduce you to the rapping sensation who is taking social media by storm. It's a typical day in the park, young kids playing together and having fun. But what you may not know is that among those children is a social media superstar. Her name is Savannah McConaughey, but to her millions of fans, she's simply known as Van Van. These are the videos that have generated millions, that's right, millions of views. 5-year-old Van Van doing her thing. And her thing has led to appearances on national television, concerts, performing at the Kennedy Center, and many other major venues. I caught up with Van Van and her mom and dad at the park. Are you having fun doing all this?
Yes, very much fun. A lot of fun.
Do you feel like it's work at all?
No.
No, not a bit. And so what do you want? Do you want to keep doing this, or what do you want to do?
Yes, I want to keep doing it.
It actually began the moment Savannah was born.
Beautiful. But she was a beautiful little baby, and so we're like, oh my gosh, everybody keeps saying like she should be a model, like a baby model. And so, we started, taking pictures of her and stuff like that, and then we would post it, and we would just be like, everybody's like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be a star.
And as she grew older and began talking, Reggie noticed Savannah had a unique talent.
So, watching TV, watching shows, I noticed that she could mimic anything that comes on TV, word for word. And this is when she was 1.5, 2 years old. She could mimic, dance, say word for word any cartoon that comes on TV.
Reggie was posting videos of Savannah, and they were getting positive responses. Do you think he ought to sing with you on these rap videos?
No.
No, why not?
Because he can't sing.
But then things went completely bonkers when this video was posted.
My name is Van Van. I am trying to play. Playing outside every day.
Yeah. Viral it was. Thousands and thousands of views, and that caught the attention of the BET network, and things have only gotten bigger since then.
I think that, and not like we're trying to get a big head or anything, but she's very talented, and she has her head on straight. She's very respectable, like we think that goes a long way. And so I think that she'll go far as long as she, you know, of course stays grounded in the Lord. And then, of course, just being who she is today, the sweet, kind person that she is.
Unless you think Van Van's parents are pushing her to do all this, nope, not at all. This is one grounded family who lets their faith in God guide them in all they do.
And so whatever God has for us and what he has for her, it's gonna happen. If nothing happens, if it stops right here with this interview today, then it stops. But at the same time, whenever she wants to stop, we're done.
Reggie, who's a teacher at North Rowan High School, and Kenya, who's a contractor for Novant Health, have been managing Van Van's career, but she's just signed with the MC Light Management Group, MC Light being one of the most influential music artists in the world.
What do you want to be when you get older and grow up?
I want to be the same thing that I am right now.
Which is what?
Rapping, singing, and doing my own thing.
I don't move as good as you.
So who knows what this is all going to lead to, but if what's happened so far is any indication, it's going to be big.
Right? What would you like to say to all your fans out there?
Thank you for supporting me and doing all of this stuff to me and saying good things to me and like coming to see me perform and all of that.
Oh, she is some young lady. I tell you what, she is truly destined for superstardom, and she's got some wonderful parents who really do keep her grounded, and just a fine family. And did you see? During the Super Bowl, Van Van had a commercial for Bojangles. It was amazing. You're watching the Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden there's Van Van talking Bojangles. It was just fantastic. And some more exciting news for Van Van fans. You may know she's already released 2 songs commercially. Well, now we've learned she has a new album coming out in April that's going to have 14 songs on it. Of course, we'll keep you posted on that. All right, speaking of the Super Bowl, it is going to be a very sweet Valentine's Day for Kansas City Chiefs fans, especially those who live in the area. The victory parade for the Super Bowl champions is going to be held in downtown Kansas City tomorrow. That's right, on Valentine's Day. Parade's going to kick off at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, so they're an hour behind. It's going to be about noon our time. The parade's expected to last about an hour and a half. And of course, a lot of folks are wondering, is Taylor Swift going to accompany her boyfriend Travis Kelce at the parade? We're going to have to wait and see on that. But hey, there is one other thing you need to keep in mind about the Super Bowl champions. Do you remember? They're going to be coming to Charlotte in the upcoming NFL season. That's right. The Chiefs are going to be taking on the Carolina Panthers right here in Charlotte, although a specific day and time haven't been announced yet. The NFL typically releases the schedule in the second week of May, so we're going to be sure to keep an eye out. You think that game will sell out? Yeah, I think it will. And just imagine, when the Chiefs come to Charlotte, would Taylor Swift be far behind? We're going to see what happens with that. This could be really exciting, not just for the game itself, but for what it might also bring. I don't know. So anyway, let's talk weather again right now, because it's been such a gorgeous day out there. Although it's been a little windy at times, but right now, a live look at the Charlotte skyline from HD Tower Cam, and oh man, does that look glorious out there or what? And Rachel Colton knows all about what's going on out there. And Rachel, what can we expect this afternoon as we head into the evening?
Yeah, we've got some nice calming conditions out there. You still notice the winds are knocking around our tower cam just a little bit. They're still elevated at this point, those winds, but those are going to be calming down here shortly. Otherwise, it's just beautiful outside. I was just outside on our weather studio, and it's gorgeous. Can confirm. We've got sustained winds 14 miles per hour out of the north and west in Charlotte, about 10 miles per hour Concord, Rock Hill down towards Monroe, and not too far from that in Shelby, with those temperatures in most areas mid to upper 50s, pretty close to that 60-degree mark. We may have made it above 60 degrees. We'll know with that almanac report here coming up in about 30 minutes or so. Excuse me. But here's a look at some of those current wind gusts that we've seen latest reported. Out towards Charlotte, about 23 mile per hour wind gusts. That was the case out towards Concord as well. 37 mile per hour winds still there in terms of your wind gust speed in our higher elevations. And earlier this morning, we had some wind gust reports over 50 to 60 miles per hour. So this doesn't surprise me. And as I'm looking at some of these wind damage reports, and what I'm showing you, the non-thunderstorm wind damage reports. And this is outside of any thunderstorm activity. Most of these came in this morning as you were tuning in with Chief Meteorologist Al Conklin and Meteorologist Eric Garlick. And you'll notice out towards Ashe County, Watauga County, down even into portions of Caldwell County, had a few of those reports. And I want to highlight one of them just to go to show what these were looking like. Fallen trees, limbs, damaging utility equipment. So we were talking about this yesterday, that potential for some power outages and trees down, and that was both of those combined in one. And these off towards the north were all because of falling trees and tree limbs as well. So we certainly had the gusty winds, and here's why. We are sandwiched in between low pressure to our north and east. You get those winds to rotate counterclockwise around low pressure, and then high pressure to our south and west. Winds rotate clockwise around high pressure, so that is just funneling in much drier air into our area, but it's also elevating our winds. And what's going to be taking place going forward? This area of high pressure, that's sliding east. Winds are going to be calming down, and of course we're going to stay with these dry, gorgeous conditions that a good portion of the southeast are experiencing at this point. But with the clear and calming conditions, notice your temperatures dropping into the next 12 hours. Upper 40s by 8 o'clock, low 40s by 11 o'clock. Heading out the door tomorrow morning, it's going to be cold outside. It's perfect conditions for radiational cooling, which just is that quick escape of any heat we're able to get through the day because of clear and calm conditions. So let me show you what that means for those morning low temperatures. 35 degrees in Charlotte, 33 in Hickory and Lenore, 29 degrees in the mountains, still blustery up there right now, but those winds will be calming down as well. You may have wind gusts max 20 miles per hour tomorrow morning. Upper 40s in our higher elevation, so a little bit cooler than the rest of us, but upper 50s right along the I-40 corridor, low 60s in the Charlotte metro, and to the south and east, also expecting the low 60s. That's in the afternoon hours. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. If you have evening plans, let's walk you through that forecast as well. 5 o'clock, still going to have lots of sunshine. No need for the rain gear if you have dinner plans tomorrow night. A light jacket, I think that'd be a good call. I certainly don't need the winter coat. It's not going to be freezing outside, but we'll see temperatures in the upper 50s by 5 o'clock, low 50s at 7. If you're going to be out around 9 o'clock, you'll see temperatures at that point in the upper 40s. Not all that bad for a Valentine's Day evening. And with high pressure and control, at least through most of the end of the week, we'll see lots of sunshine through Thursday with gradually warming temperatures, mid-60s Thursday, Friday. But notice Friday, mostly cloudy skies, cold front moves through. And what that's going to do, it's going to do two things. One, drops our temperatures heading into the weekend. Saturday only making it into the mid to upper 50s, low 50s by Sunday. Average high temperature around 56 degrees. And of course, we're at the point where that starts to increase with time. But certainly, we're also going to notice a few showers. Best chance of that will be Saturday, and even still not looking like a high impact situation, just a few spotty showers possible, and that'll about do it for your Saturday. So certainly no washout. I wouldn't cancel any outdoor plans for that, but just know that you could see a few showers passing over the course of the day on Saturday. High temperatures in the upper 50s on Saturday, waking up around freezing Sunday morning. We'll see some clouds in the morning, but then by the evening, should have some sunshine, high temperatures in the low 50s. And your 7-day forecast looks like this. By President's Day, we'll see temperatures back in the upper 50s, low 60s by next Tuesday. So altogether, a little above average as we're rounding out the week, but we'll be a little bit more seasonable by this weekend, John.
All right, thanks a lot, Rachel. Not looking too bad for tomorrow. That's a good thing there. Hey, we've got a lot of new stories that are coming up live on WBTV at 5. This is going to be right after soccer. Soccer will end by 5 o'clock, and we'll go on the air then. We're getting answers about your crazy high power bills from Duke Energy, helping you make sense of your bill. I know mine was astronomical. Couldn't hardly believe what I got. Also, what should you do if someone goes into cardiac arrest right in front of you? Well, the simple training that can be the difference between life and death, and that's in tonight's Safety First. And you do not want to miss the huge surprise from hip-hop superstar Drake, what he did for a woman battling cancer. You don't want to miss that one. All those stories, plus, of course, we're going to have live First Alert weather updates. That's straight ahead on WBTV News at 5. And remember, we are always streaming online. I'm John Carter. Thank you so much for joining us, and stick around. There's so much more to come.